Hello, my name is Dr. Holly. I'm the Library Media Specialist at Liberty Bell Middle School, and I want to make a video today to show you this new resource that is available to us during this time in our life, this historical pandemic we're going through. But it is a national emergency library, and it takes the place of our libraries, which are all now closed. Both public and school libraries are all closed right now, but if you want to go to the National Emergency Library, you'll be able to find books. So if you type in National Emergency Library, that will take you right to it. And it is going to be the first one that pops up. The URL is actually archive.org, but this is a quicker way to get to it. So when it opens, you're going to find there's thousands and thousands of resources here. There's books in other languages. There's primary sources. They have pulled from all different libraries to make this a huge resource for anybody to find anything. But because it's so big, it's kind of overwhelming and makes it a little bit harder to find things. So this video is going to give you a couple of tips to make it easier and not so overwhelming. If I just gave you the name of the website, and I know you would get on here like I did originally, and I would click right here and I would type in something I'm interested in, and there's so many options you can't, it takes forever. I didn't actually mean to click that, but I did. But to make it easier, you're going to go right here where it says books and go to this open library. And this makes it more user-friendly and kind of cuts it down where it's easier to find a book. You can see it looks a lot like Netflix with all the different categories down through here. And the one thing I like about this, I'm going to show you this recently returned books. Here's a Berenstain Bear book. The Berenstain Bears are more on the elementary level. A lot of the websites that are out there for students right now are more on the elementary level, but they don't really have the chapter books, where this one does. Like here's a Star Wars book that just came back in. So these are more higher level ones that are great for our Liberty Bell students and our Science Hill High School students. So if you find something challenging, you can see there's all different categories through here. And back at the top is subjects you can go through. So the fantasy books, they have 11,219 fantasy books. Romance books, there's 17,134 books. That is as many books that I have in the entire Liberty Bell library. So that is a lot of romance books. But if you like romance books. But I want to show you 3 ways to make this search a little bit easier. One is going to be right here in this thread. One is going to be up here on this drop-down window. And one is going to be over here in this browse window. So let me just kind of show you what those look like. I'll try to go through quickly so that you can start looking for a book. So in fantasy, it tells you how many works they have. There's going to be this little scrolling bar where you can scroll across and back to find books. Some of the most popular ones are ones that have been recently returned. This is Through the Looking Glass, this one here. That is the sequel to Alice in Wonderland. I wanted to show you this one because the cover is so old on that cover, and the book looks older. But you know not to judge a book by the cover. I tell students this all the time. The story inside is great, but I think it's cool to look at that older cover. So don't let that throw you off. These are some primary sources. Like I told you, there's tons of things in here. So it's going to give you some publishing history that might be of only interest to just us librarians. But down at the bottom, there's some good little lists down here. So if you want to find a subject, you can look, like here's comics and graphic novels. If you want to click on that, that's very popular in my library. Dragons, if you're interested in that. So there's categories here. Places, like Scotland. My family's from Scotland, so I might want to look at the books they have that are based in Scotland or about Scotland. Here's people. Lewis Carroll, that's the author of the Through the Looking Glass and Alice in Wonderland. Or characters, here's Harry Potter. And then there's time periods. I know the middle schoolers are very interested in the Holocaust era because they've just studied that. It's the World War II era. And here are prolific authors in that genre. Remember, we picked fantasy, so all these authors are pretty big in the world of fantasy, even including Dr. Seuss. Prolific means they write a lot, and as we know, Dr. Seuss has a lot of books. So prolific means many. This drop-down window is another way to find a lot of good books. So if you can go by the title, or if you know there's an author you like. If a student comes in and they're looking for a book, they have no idea what to read, I like to take a lot of them to this author, Lois Duncan. Lois Duncan writes books where all the characters are either, and here she is right here, are either middle school, high school age, or college age students, and They're mystery books. I can never figure out the end of them. There's her picture. She's written 101 books. There's a lot out there. So there's all these ones. I Know What You Did Last Summer. There used to be a movie about that. The Killing Mr. Griffith is the first one I read of hers. Stranger with My Face is very popular. So let's click on that. And just like in Destiny, it's going to tell you a little bit about the book here. And you can make it, put on your list of want to read. Or you can, right here, you can borrow it. So I clicked on that, and you have to make an account on this website. You need an email address and a password. So you would need your JC School's email address and your Chromebook password, and that would work perfectly for it. So I've already done that, so it didn't ask me to do that. But here's Stranger with My Face, and it's the actual book. And see, it's 224 pages. I'm sorry, I can't read. 244 pages. And you just flip through, and it's the actual book that they have scanned in. So it's like having the real book in your hands. You can do it single page view. If you do that, you're just going to, of course, slide down. I like the 2-page view. I just like have it look like the book. But you can scan in and zoom in, which I would need to do because I'm getting older than I would like to admit. All right, it also has audio, so I'm going to press that so you can hear what it looks like. It'll sound like a robot, I'll go ahead and tell you, and it'll read too fast, but you can pick the speed for it. I probably have it going too fast myself.
For information, address Little, Brown and Company, Inc., Boston, Massachusetts 02106. The trademark Laurel Leaf Library is registered in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. The trademark Dell is registered in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, ISBN 044.
Okay, I apologize. I clicked over here and she started reading and I flipped the page, but you get the idea. The whole idea was to show you. It sounds like a robot, but I think you would get used to that. You can pick the speed. That's what this menu that was right here, it lets you know. You can speed it up or you can slow it down. All right, another cool feature is this PDF. So you can download it onto your Chromebook and just read it from your Chromebook. Or you can download it and print it and then read the papers if you want to do that. I know not everyone has Wi-Fi. You might be listening to this video from somebody else's house. So if you are, you can download it from their house, and then you've got it when you get back to your house. Then to return the book, you just click here. You get the books for 2 weeks, just like Liberty Bell Library is 2 weeks, but I don't know that everyone is. And you just return the book. There's no late fees or anything. So if you check it out and you forgot about it, it'll automatically return itself because it's a digital copy, not a physical copy. My books right here, that's the page I'm on. It tells me what I've got, what's loaned out right now, what my reading log is, what my lists are. So the third way to find a book is to go over here to subjects under browse. And like if I ask a student if they want to read Lois Duncan or Otho, Kwame Alexander, or other authors out there, then I would say, okay, well, what are you interested in? And I will ask them a subject. This is my favorite thing to do to help somebody find a book. So, but you can do it on your own. They might say, I'm interested in dance. So you would click here and there'll be a list of books related to dance. Or they might say, I like dogs or magic, or here's World War II. So there's categories you can look. So that's 3 places you can look in the Open Library, which is on the National Emergency Library. So to recap, it's the main page. This tab right here is great, I think, if you already know an author or a series you're reading in. Or this tab here with the subjects. So those are some great ways to find something to read for the National Emergency Library. I hope you do find something to read, and any teacher will tell you that's the best thing you can do during this time, or the time between one school year and the next, is to find something to read, because you pick up all different subjects when you're reading a book. And take some time, explore the National Emergency Library, and I hope you find something to read during this time.